This one should work. Okay. So here we go. This is one of the bosses that'll actually be in the run, so
okay,
should
gotcha.
be better.
A little bit more if you can.
Hey.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys ready to get pulled in here?
Hey.
Almost.
Alright.
That should be the first switch. Yeah? Sorry?
He's good.
Yeah, let's pull you guys in here and get you on air.
Okay.
Alright. You're streaming the Mumble audio, correct?
Yeah, I am streaming Mumble audio.
Okay. I will mute myself on this one then and switch over in just a second here. Okay, can you hear me now?
Alright, while we're setting up for the next game, which is going to be Donkey Kong 64, of course, run by TJ, just want to let people know that this is the block that starts off prize donations. So thanks to some generous donators, namely Yig Drizzle, who has an eBay store, Retro Psycho. I'd recommend you check it out if you need any sort of retro game or controllers or accessories. So if you donate $10 during Donkey Kong 64, you are entered to win a Japanese version of the cart. So any $10 donation or more you make, you got a chance to win. So.
Yeah, the stream is pretty smooth, Golden.
Thank you. I don't know what it was about Little Samson, but...
You might still be dropping a few frames, but it's not unwatchable by any means.
Yeah, I think it looks good here.
Alright, while we have a second, just want to say that we have a $10 donation from Hito Kage 220. It says, "Hi TJ."
Hi, Hito.
Now fill me in because I am incapable of checking myself. What is our current donation total?
That would be $326.01.
Beautiful. Thanks everybody for donating.
Yep.
As far as I can tell, I think I'm ready to go if you're ready to go.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go whenever. I'm just waiting for the go-ahead.
You have my go-ahead, so whenever you're ready.
Alright, well in that case, 3, 2, 1, go. So hello everyone, my name's TJ, and this is Donkey Kong 64's Any Percent category. If you haven't seen a run of this in probably a year, you're in for a good amount of surprises. If you're used to the old 5 Kong route, well, think about that and flip it completely upside down. That's what's happened to the route. I'm hoping I can show it off to the best of my ability, but there are a lot of tricks in this route that can just drop time, regardless of execution. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see what goes on. So, first of all, normally runs would start by going to Cranky, unlocking the training barrels, and getting the basic training out of the way, because you don't revisit the training grounds ever. But in this run, well, that's not a thing. We're just gonna leave right away. We can still use the same wet escape method. And by going beneath the water's surface in first-person mode, DK can swim underwater without having any dive barrel training. We don't know why, but it's only a thing in the NTSCU version. So now that we're out in Isles without any basic training, here comes the first major change. We're going to be jumping into this barrel and filling it with monkeys. This might take a while. This requires a double frame perfect execution. in order to achieve what I'm trying to here. There we go, got it. So that's tag barrel storage. I've now got control of DK while the tag barrel is active. This is very important. So by tagging DK outside of the tag barrel's invisible range, he becomes invisible, and it allows us access to things like this. That's what we call a telegrab. A telegrab is made possible because the game believes that DK is in a different location than where he actually is, so it gives us the difference in distance as a height boost upon pulling up on a ledge. Now with that being said, this one has a 50-50 chance to fail. It is... oh, nice, I got it. So what happens is it's kind of flickering back and forth between working and not working every single frame. That's why it's a 50-50. Then we can clip through that eye because DK64 has no walls and enter Helm Lobby's loading zone. From here, we need to get a moon kick off of this edge so we can clip out of bounds. There we go, and over this pipe because there's no collision, so we're out of bounds again. Alright. From here, we can just navigate around the lava, and hope I don't walk into it, and enter the Helm loading zone from behind. So far, that's a much better start than I was seeing in practice, so let's keep this up. Helm is a huge run killer. The only way we can climb this slope as DK is by using this wall to stall our backwards momentum, and by jumping out of DK's triple slap attack, we can use the wall to prevent us from falling backwards, and use it to push us forward instead. And that clump is at the top, so I'm just gonna redo this and hope that he moves. If he continues to throw oranges and he just stands in that corner, I can't get up. There's nothing I can do about this. Okay, we're up. That clump loves to troll. People have died on that slope before. And this is the next big killer. This is what kills most runs that get into Helm. This is switch kick. I need to get a moon kick off of this switch and clip a very narrow seam to get out of bounds. Regardless of execution, this trick loves to troll, and so does this clump. I hope everyone's enjoying clump camp.
He just wants his moment.
Yeah. Come on, switch kick. Don't be like this. Thank you. Alright, so that was pretty bad in terms of going for a PB, but in a marathon, that's much better than I would have expected. So, using the out-of-bounds navigation here, we can go over to Chunky's room and very carefully height boost off of this corner that's poking out of bounds. We need to be very careful here. The last thing we want is to inbounds in the Blastomatic room, because that's a reset. It's a soft block, and there's nothing I can do about it. Luckily, I avoided it pretty well. So we're going to backflip inbounds here, and go over to the classic Terminal 2 clip. You just clip between the terminal and that ledge, and you can walk through the wall. From here, it's pretty standard. We're going to roll over to the Key 8 room, grab it, and get out. There's Key 8. Okay. So that was all right. Now the reset there. There's multiple ways to get out of Helm, but we don't have any oranges, so there's no way to get out of that room specifically. So we have to reset out. And that reset is actually really important. We need to be back in the main menu, and now we're going to activate something called Intro Story Glitch, or ISG. Let's see. Nope. I need a split for this. There we go. So by canceling intro story at the right time, we can keep it running in the background while we accomplish some other tasks. So I'm going to accomplish some very small things here, like tagging this warp 1 for later. That warp 3 doesn't need to be tagged, but it does save a couple frames. And from here, we're finally going to visit Cranky. 6.5 minutes in, you know, most casuals would have found Cranky by now, but we haven't. So while I'm headed to Cranky here, I'll explain a little bit about Intro Story. Intro Story is a movie composed of 6 different cutscenes, and when a cutscene ends, the screen will fade out in an attempt to call the next cutscene in line. You're about to see it here. As long as we cancel that transition, or as long as we cancel that fade out with a transition to another map, then we won't get pulled into Intro Story. However, if we are watching a cutscene and we have cutscenes pending from Intro Story, we'll get pulled in helplessly and there's, well, not much we can do except reset out. So I'm gonna wait for a specific time here to backflip into this barrel. Good stuff. So what you saw there was another screen fade out. I had to cancel that with the loading zone in the barrel. And I'm going to accomplish the training barrels now. I don't have to wait for another fade out yet. I've got about a minute. So I'm going to finish this other training barrel. And these are the only 2 that we'll be doing throughout the entire run. From here, it's kind of straightforward until I get back to the menu. So if you guys have a donation you want to read off quick, go ahead.
Sure. We did have a $10 donation from Glorious Liar, who said 801 fake key.
Thank you, Glorious. So now that I've accomplished those 2 training barrels, I'm going to leave and do one more thing before heading back to the main menu here. I'm going to go and tag the Far Warp 3, which will be ideal for later. It saves about 9 seconds over not having it. But the final boss arena spawns right beside this, so we would like it for later. Now I'm gonna wait for another specific time here on this cutscene. Cancel it. Hopefully that wasn't too late. So what we want here is the transition between the Rareware logo to the Dolby Surround logo. We'll cancel that pending fade out, and we can make it past the wrap. So here's where all the magic happens. Watch close. We're going to examine the file. That loads this into memory. Now we're going to enter Monkey Smash. Entering Monkey Smash, for those of you that know about Funky Weapons Glitch, gives every Kong their guns, as well as access to homing ammo and sniper scope. The latter won't be useful in this run, but we do need the guns, Diddy's specifically, so we come in here just for that. A side effect of entering Kong Battle, though, is that all of our game values are set to 0, so all the 20 oranges that we just got from Orange Barrel are now 0, so we roll around and collect all of the oranges that we can hold in multiplayer. This allows us to transfer them back to the file. Now we're also going to view the Mad Jack cutscene. So now we won't have to watch that in the... we won't have to watch the Mad Jack cutscene in the adventure file, and it also gives us all the moves and instruments necessary to beat the game. I also put on infinite oranges to help avoid a soft lock situation. The last thing we need is this dying to a soft lock in a marathon. So, I also waited on the main menu there, and that was for a cutscene to happen. When a cutscene happens on the main menu, you'll get pulled into the intro story even though you're in the main menu. So now the game believes that I'm in the main menu even though I'm in the adventure file. Now, this is beneficial and not, for a couple of reasons. Everything I just did in my in that main menu section there has been transferred to the file. So like, if I slam, you'll see I have Super Duper Simian Slam. That's from Mad Jack. I could do other things, but I need to try and go fast here. However, being in main menu mode disallows us to pause. Like, the start button just plainly doesn't work. and the game stops auto-saving because there is no save function in the main menu. So from here onward, everything I do will not be saved into my file. And hopefully this gets in. That looked close. I need to abuse a lag clip here. The short story is the more lag that there is, the faster your Kong will move. So by throwing 4 oranges, we can drastically increase the amount of lag in the immediate area, which allows DK to sometimes clip right through objects using his kick, like that. So now we're finally in Factory, and we only come here for one reason. Just like for Helm, we only come here to get the key, which I'll explain in a little bit. Now, I need to tag Warp 1 as a way of getting out later. And I'm going to abuse another lag clip here. Just like how 5 Kong does, except we do this with DK. Ugh. I really don't like that. So I'm gonna check my position. Okay, I'm fine. There we go. So now we're in the storage room, and the only reason we go here is for the Troffenskopf portal. So we can just get a moon kick off of this slope, and go through a wall that doesn't exist again, because this is DK64. And now it's time to fight Mad Jack. Mad Jack is the hardest boss in the game, bar none. And fighting him as DK does not make the fight any easier. So during the latter half of this, I'm probably going to stop talking and focus on the fight. The only thing you really need to know about this fight is that all the switch spawns are random, and we need to hit the switch that's on a platform that matches his platform's color. And yeah, that's all I've really got to say. Oh my god, I missed that. So I'm going to stop talking at this point because I do need to focus, otherwise that's going to happen again. If you've got donations that you want to read, you can. I just need to focus here.
Sure. We don't have any donations, but I do want to remind people that during this run until the end, you can donate $10 and you're entered in a chance to win a Donkey Kong 64 cart, Japanese version, which was generously donated by Yggdrasil. So please get your donations in. Thank you.
What Tudo said in chat is right. You don't take any damage while in main menu mode, which is both a boon and a con. Sometimes death warps can be really useful. Not having access to them is kinda not fun.
And up next after the Donkey Kong 64 run, we have Azure Striker Gunvolt, any % speedrun mode, being run by Cool Kid, followed by Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, run by me.
Alright. Sorry, that's the Mad Jack fight as DK. So, that was not actually too bad aside that fall in Phase 2. So we're gonna grab the key and ditch factory altogether. So using the warp 1 that we tagged earlier, we can port back to the beginning of the level. And just exit. So from here, now we're going to do something with the keys that we just obtained. What's going to happen is, first of all, we're going to open Japes, which is the first level in the game, and we're like 17 minutes in, no big deal. Along with that, we're going to turn in both key 8 and key 3, and what'll happen with that is those 2 keys are the only ones necessary to unlock the final boss's arena. That's what spawns over by warp 3 that you saw me tag earlier. That's all I've really got to say here. Do you have any donations to plug?
Let me see here. We actually do. So we have a $10 donation from Tudos. So it's shout outs to the special snowflakes. And I do want to remind people that we do have some upcoming incentives. So we have the incentive in Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, that's me, to fight Akuma. So that needs $200. Not really very far into that, but hey, with your donations we can make it happen.
Alright, so now we've turned in the keys. By leaving K. Lumsey's cage, we reload the Isles area, and that's what allows the arena to spawn. So here we go. Final boss time. So, chat, if you guys have any questions about anything I've missed, from here onwards is a great time, because this is practically a 12-minute interactive cutscene.
It's the greatest boss fight.
Yep.
For as broken as this game is, the boss fights sure take a long time.
Yeah, they do. The boss fights are like the only things that we can't break, with the exception of Doggedon 1 and 2. That's a glitch that you won't see in this run, but that was pretty interesting. We found a quick kill for that just earlier this year, thanks to Adam Whitmore. And that's something that actually allows us to get Key 5, which would normally be from the 5th level, Fungi Forest, in the 2nd level, which is Angry Aztec. Because using the quick kill on the first Doggedon gives us Key 5 for some reason, which is actually really useful. Hey, the Kongs are not dirty cheaters. We understand that he wants a boxing match, but when you've got this, like, crazy insane crocodile with a giant death ray pointed towards your island, I see nothing wrong with cheating a little in a boxing fight. I was worried I shot over his head there.
Just want to take a moment. Go ahead.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
Just want to take a moment to remind everybody that this is the JRTA Marathon, where we are raising money for 2 Japanese runners, Bicord and Ohon. So Bicord will be running Gimmick at AGDQ, and Ohon will be running Mega Man 6 and Castlevania 3. So we're hoping to raise $4,500, so with your donations we can make that happen. So we appreciate everything you guys have contributed so far, and please keep them coming.
So you guys saw I jumped into K. Rool to take damage there. That abuses invincibility frames so that we can backflip into that rocket barrel earlier than intended. Funny note about that, if you don't actually have Rocket Barrel boost bot and you flip into it during that cutscene, you can use Rocket Barrel in this phase anyway. Alright, 219's a good Diddy phase. My DK was a 224, that's the best on 164 that you can get. That's
Reminder,
actually... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Just a reminder, we have a few more minutes to get your donations in for that Donkey Kong 64 cart. So if you make a $10 donation before this run is over, you are entered to win the cart, which was generously donated by Big Drizzle.
And your odds are really good right now to win that cartridge, so if you want to win a Japanese copy of DK64, donate $10 now.
So I was going to address, the reason I'm not doing this on VC is factory early is way too hard to do it in a marathon setting. But VC would technically be faster for this run. Since VC has no lag, or very, very minimal lag to it, orange clips are very hard, if not impossible, in some sections of the game. So we would have to do a different method to get past that B-locker. Nice 217 in a marathon. The way we track all of the K-Rool phases is mostly through the in-game timer. We know how well we do on the phases just by how much is left when we input the final action, I suppose. Alright, so Tiny Phase, this is the one that sucks the most. This is 5 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna stir up chat a little bit. Will I backflip in Chunky Phase? Yeah, I can backflip in Chunky Phase. I should have made that a donation incentive, honestly. That would have been good.
Ooh.
When is the DK64 TAS? That's a good question, Tompa. While a TAS is currently out of the question because of the state of the emulator, Ring Rush is working on a 101% low-optimized tool-assisted demonstration, or LOTAD for short. So that's going to be something worth watching, and we're hoping that it'll finish, or hoping that it'll be finished by either the end of this year or early next year. That should be a treat to watch. I've been able to watch a few segments already, and it's pretty outstanding.
Just wanted to let everybody know that if you do donate for the prize card, there's literally only 3 entries right now. So you donate and you have a 25% chance of winning. So, I mean, what's stopping you guys? Come on, you got a few minutes to donate.
Who is the best Kong and why isn't it Lanky? DK is easily the best Kong because of what he's capable of, Supreme. We're able to do this whole run with basically just DK, aside the K-Rool fight, which forces you to use the other Kongs. My favorite fruit? Pineapple. Sorry, I'm reading these questions in between inputs here. Okay. Trogdor. Lanky, I don't know. It depends on who you talk to. I don't think he's the worst Kong, honestly. I don't think anyone is like the worst Kong, but if you want to go into detail, I would say Krusha is the worst, because he's not capable of doing anything in the adventure file. Through emulation and changing things, purposely pulling Krusha in, he's not able to hit any of the switches that the other Kongs can. Like, he doesn't have any special moves. He's pretty useless overall. It would still be cool to get him into the adventure file, but there's no real way to do that and gain control right now.
Now I have a question.
Yeah,
in your first playthrough of this video game, how many glitches did you manage to pull off unintentionally?
I don't know if it's a glitch, but I found Sniper Skip in Creepy Castle.
You just found that accidentally?
Yeah, I think that was the only thing I ever did in my original playthrough. I didn't know where Funky's was in Creepy Castle, and that's where you're supposed to buy Sniper Scope, right? And one of these switches required Sniper Scope to hit it from far away, because otherwise you step on the vines and the switch flips over and you can't hit it. So, I don't know why, but young me decided that it would be a great idea to stand in the corner and shoot the switch from beneath. What is up with these toe patterns? How long have I been running this? Since February? Mid-February, so 8.5 months, I think? Is this a speedrun? Maybe. Depends on your definition, Glorious. And do I even care? Of course I do, Hipster. Okay, so I'm gonna show off a couple different things in Chunky Phase here that people may or may not know about. Hopefully it's entertaining at the very least. I only found out about this like a few days ago, maybe a week ago. And while not useful, it is pretty entertaining, if nothing else. So watch K. Rool closely here. He jumps with you. Oh, I missed a punch because of that. Whoops. There you go, not a backflip, but it's close enough, you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm actually gonna do the phase right now, jeez. But that was something I found maybe a week ago, and I thought it was pretty entertaining, so I thought it would be good for this. Is he not moving? Oh. K. Rool does that weird thing sometimes in Chunky Phase where he just doesn't move out of his corner for whatever reason. We don't know why it happens, but it would be really cool if we figured it out. So time is coming up here. Thought he was going to go into the corner. And time.
Looks like 31:23.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Nice.
Well, cool.
Great job, man.
Yeah,
Fantastic run.
that was a lot better than I was expecting for a marathon. My practice was going terribly, so I was really nervous about this, but I'm glad it went as well as it did.
No, I mean, with this kind of game, as long as you give some good commentary and you just show off all these unbelievable glitches, it's going to be fantastic. And you had a great run to boot, so...
Well, thank you very much, and thank you guys for having me here.
Absolutely, it was a lot of fun.
Alright, so up next we're going to be having Azure Striker Gunvolt, the any percent speedrun mode, run by Cool Kid. So stick around.
Muted.
All right.
Julia get connected.
Wow.
I guess Cool Kid connected. It must mean we're ready. That was a good sound.
Yeah, Cool Kid's gonna be... we need to move commentators, let's see. Where are they? Yeah, Arjamar and Blacky are gonna be commentating. So if we can move
Is
them
Cool
over.
Kid stream set up and ready to go?
That'd be helpful if I actually loaded it. Let me see. Yep. Yeah, looks like they're in.
Okay. We'll go ahead and pull Donkey Kong 64 off the stream here, but thanks again for the run.